Hello dear students, today we are going to study one of the important concept in the rotational dynamics, and the name of the concept is principle of conservation of angular momentum. In last lecture we have already discussed about expression for angular momentum of a rotating body. Okay, and in that expression we have derived two important expressions for angular momentum. First one is angular momentum vector L is equal to vector R cross vector P. That is moment of a linear momentum. Moment of linear momentum is angular momentum. And second expression we have derived is angular momentum vector L is equal to I into omega, where I is moment of inertia of a rigid body along the given axis of rotation and omega is its angular speed. Now, today we are going to study important principle regarding the angular momentum, and that principle is called principle of conservation of angular momentum. First of all, we are going to study statement for that principle. According to principle of conservation of angular momentum, if resultant external torque act on a rotating body is zero, that is, if no external torque act on a rotating body, its total angular momentum remains constant or conserved. Principle of conservation of angular momentum states that if resultant external torque acts on a rotating body is zero, then angular momentum of the rotating body remains constant or conserved. That is, vector L is constant if vector tau is zero. Vector L constant means I into omega remains constant. I omega constant means this product I1 omega 1 equals to I2 omega 2, that is equal to constant. Okay? Where I1 is initial moment of inertia, omega 1 is initial angular speed, I2 is final moment of inertia, omega 2 is final angular speed. Then if tau equal to 0, this product I1 omega 1 equals to I2 omega 2, and that is equal to constant. Now we are going to prove this principle of conservation of angular momentum. Proof of principle of conservation of angular momentum. We know that angular momentum is moment of linear momentum, that is vector L equal to vector R cross vector P. Vector L equal to vector R cross vector P. Moment of a linear momentum is angular momentum. Now, differentiating this equation on both sides, we get derivative of vector L with respect to time, vector dl by dt equals to this term R cross P we can solve by using UV rule of derivative. Okay? First term as it is vector R cross derivative of second term vector dp by dt plus second term vector P as it is cross derivative of first term with respect to time. Vector dl by dt equal to R cross vector dp by dt plus vector P cross vector dr by dt. Suppose this is equation number 1. Okay? In this equation, this vector dp by dt, which is nothing but rate of change of linear momentum with respect to time. Vector dp by dt represents rate of change of linear momentum with respect to time. And we know that according to Newton's second law of motion, this rate of change of linear momentum with respect to time is nothing but force vector M. Okay? This vector P we can write as product of mass and linear velocity. Vector P equal to M into vector V, and this rate of change of position vector with respect to time, vector dr by dt which is nothing but linear velocity v. Okay. Substitute this value, that is value of vector dq by dt, value of vector p and value of vector dr by dt in equation number 1. We get vector dl by dt is equal to r cross vector f. R cross dq by dt is nothing but vector f plus m into vector p is m into vector v. Vector v cross vector v. Okay. But we know that vector r cross vector f is nothing but moment of a force, which is nothing but torque, vector torque. R cross f equal to vector torque, and self cross product vector v cross vector v is always 0. Self cross product is 0. Therefore, the equation becomes vector dl by dt equal to r cross f is nothing but vector torque plus v cross v is 0, and therefore we get equation dl by dt is equal to vector torque. Suppose this is equation number 2 into equation number 2. From this equation we can alternatively define torque as rate of change of angular momentum with respect to time. Rate of change of angular momentum with respect to time. In that equation, if we put vector tau equal to 0, that is, if resultant external torque act on the rotating body is 0, then this dl by dt is always 0. And we know that derivative of constant term is 0. Derivative of constant term is 0. Therefore, we can say that vector L is constant. Vector L is constant if no resultant external torque act on a rotating body, then vector L, that is angular momentum of the body, always remains constant or conserved. L constant means product I omega is constant. Product I omega constant means I1 omega 1 equals to I2 omega 2, and that is equal to constant. And this is the principle of conservation of angular momentum, which state that if resultant external torque act on a rotating body is 0, that is, if no resultant external torque act on a rotating body, its total angular momentum remains constant. Now, we are going to explain some important examples of conservation of angular momentum. Examples of conservation of angular momentum. First important example we are going to study is a person standing on a rotating table. A person standing on a rotating table. Suppose that person standing on a rotating table with his arms close to his body. Arms close to his body. Suppose that this is the first case. First case is arms of the person are close to his body. Suppose that I1 is the moment of inertia of the body. I1 is the moment of inertia and omega 1 is angular speed. That is, I1 is initial moment of inertia and omega 1 is initial angular speed. In this case, if arms are close to body, I1 is moment of inertia of the person, and omega 1 is his angular speed. Now suppose that same person stretches his arms fully horizontally like this. Suppose that I2 is the moment of inertia of the person. If the person stretches his hand horizontally, I2 is moment of inertia. That is final moment of inertia. And omega 2 is angular speed of the person in that situation. Okay? That is omega 2 is final angular speed. I1 is initial moment of inertia, omega 1 is initial angular speed, I2 is final moment of inertia, omega 2 is final angular speed. Now, if we observe these both cases, which moment of inertia is greater? I2 greater than I1. Why I2 greater than I1? Because if person stretches his hands fully horizontally, mass distribution is greater. Therefore, moment of inertia is greater in this situation. And as I2 greater than I1, this omega 2 less than omega 1. I2 greater than I1. Therefore, omega 2 less than omega 1. And that is this product I1 omega 1 equal to product I2 omega 2, that is equal to constant. That is, if no external torque act on the rotating body, this product I1 omega 1 equal to I2 omega 2. Similarly, there are some another important examples of principle of conservation of angular momentum. Ice skaters. Third example is ballet dancer. Fourth example is acrobats in a circus. Fifth example is divers in swimming. All these some important examples of principle of conservation of angular momentum. First example we have already explained, person standing on a rotating table. In this case, principle of conservation of angular momentum is obeyed. Total initial angular momentum is equal to total final angular momentum. Similarly, ice skaters, ballet dancers, acrobats in a circus, or divers in swimming also uses the principle of conservation of angular momentum. Why they use principle of conservation of angular momentum? To change their angular speed. How they change their angular speed? By changing their moment of inertia. And this is some important examples of principle of conservation of angular momentum.